Hello, and welcome back to F1 24, and more specifically FRLT Season 4. A lot of fours this season, a lot of them. Last week we had round 4 of Season 4 of F1 24, which is crazy, but we are back this week. I'm on my own, as you can see, sadly, this week. Will is not joining me. But let's get through it, because the drivers have just about to get into qualifying. The calendar, as you can see, we have completed Imola, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and Great Britain last week, which saw none other than XR8 take the lead of the constructors. This week we come to Austria. Then for the final 4 races of the season, we'll be going to Qatar, China, the Netherlands, and then Bahrain to end the season. Looking at the track map, of course, 4.318 kilometers, 2.683 miles, the shortest track on the calendar, 10 turns, quickest in lap time. So incredibly short. The standings as well, as you can see, XR8 lead the constructors on 102 points, just 6 points ahead of ABE, who had a bit of a tough race last time round, but only were just beat by that very small margin of the victory. UFRT follow with a decent race as well to take some points. XPG also had a decent race to pull past VRT, pull up into 5th in the constructors, with VRT still in last. VRT not here tonight, I do believe, so we'll go to in-game, as we'll see in a second when this would like to work. There we go. My apologies, it took a minute to get there. Yeah, so this week, of course, it's Austria. We've only got 15 drivers. I think we're missing a driver at the moment. XR8 pushing for that championship lead. Of course, 6 points in the lead of the constructors. After 4 races, only 5 races to go, including this one. It's quite close. AB only 6 points behind. And, of course, 4 drivers, 4 different point scorers. So it's going to be quite close. I think there is only 3 XR8s in at the moment. I do believe there's only 3. I do believe that are currently in. So XR8 struggling a little bit. Let's run on board Power on his lap as he starts off, and he's the first here in qualifying. Heading towards turn 1. It's a bit of an uphill corner. Braking hard and throwing the car through. Don't go too far over the curb. He actually nails the first corner. Now heading down this second straight again with DRS in the triple DRS zones, heading up towards probably the most difficult corner, the hairpin, throwing the car, and you've got to throw it in quite right, and it's quite good there, onto the curb off the exit, perfect hairpin there. Now, DRS open for a third and final time on his lap for the full zone, as he comes downhill to now turn number 4, through the right-hander, very nice. Hello F1 Shorts, welcome to the stream. You see, now heading towards the double left-hander, throwing the car through a lot of corners, quite high speed through here now for the rest of the lap. Every corner is high speed through the left-hander again, coming through at over 230 kilometers an hour. There's a car right in front of him. Whoa! Power trying to move out of the way of, I believe that was Karakimo. And now into the final corner goes Power, up to the line, opening his rear wing for the final time. And across the line, it's a 1 minute 3.781 for the first lap of the day. And that's going to be something to beat now for the others to beat more specifically. As Mono can only go P2. He's quite far off, half a second behind. The XPG driver struggling a little bit for lap time. I think we have Deck coming round. He is going to be either the next one. It is Runnard, who's coming round next. Man has proven to be quick. Hello, Isays. Welcome to the stream. And Runnard goes quickest of all. 1 minute 3.546 is the new time. Deck went P3, a bit further behind. Satcher, he's invalidated. I think we've got Tarsource coming up next. He's on the mediums. He does go P4 though. Not the slowest of all. So, interesting one to see. You could see we've got the 2, I believe that is XPG. If I can remember correctly or not. Unless I'm being a bit stupid, which I probably am. I should know the cars by now, but somehow I don't. Somehow I don't. At all. I don't for some reason. It is... Yeah, it's ABE. My bad. Oh God, I've been looking at this for ages. Somebody has the wrong roles as well. But yeah, so as you can see, we've got King Stappen on his way round. King Stappen making his way round at speed. Let's see how he can do. His teammate's just in front of him. Asal Souza in front of him. Coming round up to the line. Asal Souza goes P2, not far off. And just a little bit quicker from King Stappen. Goes into P2. Solid from ABE. They're really trying to push XR8 now for the championship. Throwing in some slightly faster drivers, I think we're seeing from them. UFRT, believe they're in. Let's see how they're going to do. You got Mr. Poem on his way around. I think we've seen him before. And heading downhill into turn 4. Of course, this track does have, it's a lot of elevation change. And especially for instance, in turn 4, quite a huge amount. And between these two left-handers, there's also quite a lot of elevation change. I believe it's something about 12 meters elevation change. Sorry, not 12, between 8 and 12, if I remember correctly. Somewhere around there. So it's quite a large change. But I believe it's over 40 meters elevation in the track, 40, 50 meters from the start to the peak. And Mr. Poem goes slowest of all by a long, long margin. Massive margin there, actually. But we got another driver on a lap, and that is Oscar, who's making his way around. Let's ride on board with Oscar. Let's see how he can do. He's struggled a bit in FRLT in his appearances that he has had. He appeared here in Season 1 as well. Let's see how he's going to do on his lap, though. This is the difficult point, is hooking up the lap fully. It is such a short lap that you kind of, that you've just got to, you have to get every single bit right. You have to get every single corner and every single bit of traction. You've got to get every little bit of the lap perfectly on point, or you lose huge amounts of time. Even if it doesn't look like huge amounts of time, it's like half a tenth. It ultimately can lead to you being 2-3 positions low. And we could see that between the top 3. I mean, 600ths, just less than that, 58 thousandths dividing the top 3. Clearly showing the difference. That literally a few hundredths are the difference between being on pole and not. You can see heading into the final corner. Perfect from Oscar, running a little bit wide and across the line. He does go P4 ahead of his teammate to 1 minute 3.661. That's now 4 drivers who've done 3.6 or better. So that is a bit of an improvement for some. I think we've got Russell Bolt who's coming around. He's, not having the best of times. I think that is UFRT, if I'm correct. I think that is UFRT. Let me have a quick look. I actually need to just bring up team cars. Yeah, it is. I just need to start doing that now. But heading round, trying to find somebody who is on a fast lap, because I just had to look away quickly. We got Mika, who's going slow though. He just went P6. Solid lap from himself. We've got Tartar Sauce on his way round. He's got a couple of cars in front of him. Got to be careful about slipstream here, but he's got a. This is a difficult moment, I'd say, for Tartar Sauce. He's got 2 cars going side by side in front of him, so it's kind of a bit difficult. He can't move off the line there. You can see he's got a Williams in front of him. That is Power that's actually in front of him. So a little bit of help with slipstream possibly, but he's going to let him by quite quickly. Is Tartar Sauce improving though on his lap? That is the big thing to see. No, he's not. He's not improving at all. He's going quite a bit slower. I think we could see that quite clearly. Deck is on his lap. He's up by a tenth, so that's going to be moving him up to about P7 now, ahead of his teammate. So a decent climb. Let's see where these guys are going. Into the penultimate corner very quickly hit with the final corner, making his way round. And up to the line, where is that going to go? He goes P6 in the end, finding a little bit more to a 1 minute 3.811. Within 3/10 of provisional pole at the moment. So he's gotten a lot closer, and that's sort of where you want to be. Power is up by over a 10th at the moment, which is going to send him up to about P4. So only up one place, but it's going to bring him into contention for pole, which is exactly what he's looking for. Not a lot of drivers have been out. They're just, some of them are heading out now for their second runs before their final runs, of course. You can only really do 3 runs, I'd say. 4 if you go out straight away, but usually about 3 runs is what you'll see. He's up by about a 10th still in the middle sector, so he's still finding time. Let's see what Power can do as he makes his way round into the final 2 corners, throwing that Williams round at as fast as he can, of course. He's pushing it all the way up to the line. Very good final corner there. And across the line, Power goes fastest of all, 4/10 faster. And he goes up into provisional pole and pushes to a 1 minute 3.391. Which is going to be one hell of a lap to try and beat. So we'll have to see whether anybody can actually beat that lap. Karakimo has invalidated. I think we got Mono, who's on a lap now. I think we've also got King Stappen. King Stappen's also up. He's up by 46 thousandths in his middle sector. He's invalidated though, and that is the end of his lap. So disappointment for King Stappen on his middle run. Not where he wants to be. I think we've got Mono. Where's everyone else? Trying to figure out where everyone else is. I think Mono's going to be the next driver to cross the line. He's up by 2/10 in his first sector, so he's definitely going to be jumping up to P10. XPG needing a big night here. And in the middle sector, he's up by over 3/10 now, so he's finding quite a bit more time. He's definitely going to be into the top 10 here. He could even push up to about P8 in the order. Bit of a gap still between P7 and P8, about 1/10.5 splitting them. So we'll have to see what that does when it comes down to race pace. Not too well through the final corner, bit of sliding. But across the line, he does go P8, and he does actually catch up sort of right up to the back of Mika and back round to the back of the top 7 there. And that's exactly what you'd be looking for. Karakimo has done it again. And it's Rusted Bolt across the line. He now goes P8, jumps Mono. He's 1,000th of a second behind Mika. Absolute craziness going on there. Runners coming round. I think that's Williams. I think that is Oscar coming across the line. He's invalidated his lap and for the next lap as well, so some disappointment there. Then we've got Mika who's coming round, who's starting his lap. I think we've got Hazer coming round. He's up by almost 2/10, so he's going to be finding some time. And across the line he goes. He loses a lot of time in the final sector. Does improve to a 1 minute 3.9. Hopefully his final run will see another 10th. Tartar Sauce, by the way, jumps up to P6, a 1 minute 3.7. Seeing a lot more times, getting quite a bit more. It's getting a lot more competitive now with the lap times, because you can now see P10 to P7 are all in the 1 minute 8. It's going to be very competitive for those lower points positions, I'd say, when it comes down to the race. Kakimo is moving off the line. He's just letting the bolt by. Runners has invalidated as well, so some disappointment. I think he might have invalidated in the first sector, so I think a lot of disappointment there for Runnard. But he's going again. He might have time to go for this run. But let's watch on board with let's not watch on board with him. Who I'm looking at is Miko, who's coming around. He's invalidated. Jesus, into the wall. I thought he was going to finish that lap there, but no. But let's see. Can Runnard improve? He needs to find about 1/10.5 in his lap. First sector, he's up by 38 thousandths. That is a step in the right direction, bringing that gap down. If he can bring it down by even, 2/3, that's really going to help him on his final run, because Power did not have the perfect run. There's still some small mistakes, obviously, in the lap. So let's see whether Runnard is able to find a bit more time. So we're going to be reaching the end of the middle sector. Not a lot of corners this track, only 10. So remember, it's 10 corners. Every corner counts. He's down by 55 thousandths now. So unless Runnard finds about 2/10, unless he's 2/10 quicker in this final sector, he's not going to be on provisional pole or anywhere near it. He does come in the end. And that means all of our 15 drivers are all in the pits for the moment. Interesting to see. I have to say, though, Power, with his lap at 1 minute 3.391, he didn't just go to an even lower 0.5 or even a high 0.4, being maybe half a tenth quicker. He's gone all the way to a tenth and a half quicker. From a way back, from 2 tenths back as well, he found a lot of time, almost 4 tenths in his lap. So, he was quarter of a second down and runned roughly. So, realistically, he's really done well. I've also got to give it a surprise one, I'd say, has very much been the 2 ABE drivers of King Stappen and Alsa Souza, who are P3 and P4, because they're surprisingly close to the front of the grid. ABE didn't have the best of races last time round, and you can see that their teammates Mika down in P8 and Sacha in P12 isn't doing the best in performance. And the first driver out for the final runs is Oscar. This is what I mean, really. This is sort of what I mean is that, it was surprising to see them so high after they did struggle in qualifying last race round. It's going to be an interesting one here tonight, whether XR8 are going to be able to pull off more of a championship lead. Of course, they're 1, 2, 3. They're 1, 2, and 5 at the moment, so they're looking pretty good. I think there's only 3 of them in, or 4 of them, unless I'm missing one of them. Unless I'm missing an Alpine, which I don't think I am. Don't think I'm missing an Alpine. If I am, please tell me, because I don't see one. But crossing line for this final run, let's see what Oscar can do on his lap. Can he improve? He needs to find about 3 tenths of a second to go on to provisional pole and in the slipstream, which isn't really allowed. These teams don't seem to follow. Up by 11 thousandths in the first sector. That's not going to be enough. That's not even going to be enough to gain a position at the moment. But a massive bit of slipstream there. Really unsure why XR8 keep doing this. Same in Tier 1 as well. Holy, the amount of times I've had to give them penalties for it. I can't believe it. Can Oscar continue this form into the final sector? He's up by 2 tenths, so he's finding that time. He's definitely listening to the stream. He's definitely listening to me saying he needs to find 3 tenths. He's up by 2 tenths, which will set him onto the front row, which is perfectly where he wants to be. He wants the team to get a 1, 2, 3. Round the final corner. Can he get it hooked up? Yes, he does. He pushes it all the way onto the limit. Across the line, Oscar does go P2. He loses a little bit of time in the final sector, but it's not a lot of time, and it is only a small amount for now. Karakimo going slow. Looking to the next car. I think that's Rusted Bolt. And then finally, Hazer, who's coming around. We do have I think it's Asel Souza. Yeah, he's invalidated, and I think that's going to be the end of his qualifying here. He's not going to be able to make the line, and that's sadly the end for himself. We've got Power coming around. Power was also invalidated, by the way. So that's the end of multiple qualifying sessions already. Crazy to see so quickly. Tata coming around. He's invalidated as well. That's the end of his qualifying. Mika hasn't invalidated. And across the line, he improves by a tenth and goes P7. What he needed there. Deck coming across the line. He's also improving by a tenth. He goes P3. All of a sudden, what a lap from himself. King Stappen coming across the line. He goes onto the front row now. That is a really good lap. Runnard across the line. He goes onto the front row. Jumping King Stappen and his teammate Oscar. See who else. Sacha now goes P8. What a lap from Sacha. And I think that was Rusted Bolt who just improved, I believe. Didn't get it. And Hazer finishes P12. But that is the end of qualifying. And it is Power on pole. And it's XR8. It's XR8 to take pole position once again this season. I do apologise, everybody. My voice is dying today. But yeah. Ultimately, it is Power on pole, followed by his teammate Runnard. Then King Stappen in third, Oscar in fourth, Deck in fifth, Asol Souza in sixth, Mono in seventh, Satcha in eighth, Tartar in ninth, and Mika ending at the top 10. Russell Bowles 11th, Hazer in 12th, Mr. Poem in 13th, followed by XPG Flame and Carrot Chemo. And that is the end to qualifying. Impressive 1-2 from XR8 again this week. Very impressive. They're putting on some impressive qualifyings. Can they do it in the race, though? That's my question. That is my question, is can they do it in the race? Drivers will be readying up in about 2 minutes, but XR8 leading the championship by just 6 points. It's not been a great qualifying for XPG. They, of course, have one qualifying ban, but their other driver, Karakin Gimo, couldn't find the time and went last anyway without a lap time. Flame served the penalty, the qualifying ban, sorry. And that's not where you really want to be. I think XPG are definitely going to be coming off of the back foot here. I don't think they can really rely on Karakimo today to take the, to take any points or to really find any positions. He's really struggling for qualifying pace. He's really struggling for track limits mostly, which of course isn't good. I think it's really bad for XPG at the moment. It's not what they needed. They need to pull up points. They want to get up to some positions. Looking at, I have to say though, you've got to give it to UFRT this week again. Really good qualifying from Deck. Really putting in the performances. UFRT needing these performances this season. They really are. Some struggles have come from them in the last couple of races. I think last race, we saw some struggles in qualifying and in the previous race, but they've sort of brought that, especially in Qatar, they struggled quite a bit more for points, so that's where they kind of lost the championship, I'd say. I don't think the championship is over for UFRT, but I think they're going to need to win. If they can win in Austria, I think they'll be able to show that they do have something. Let's see how qualifying's gone. Let's see whether that's going to translate into race pace. Of course, it's dry. It's going to be a one-stop, easy one-stop, medium to hard tyres or hard tyres to mediums. Either way, we could even see the hards to softs. I've seen that before. So there is every possibility this season, every possibility this race. It's all changing all the time with the game, so we'll have to see. Hello, Flame. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great day. Let's see how the grid is going to go. It is 8:30. If you live in the UK, it is 8:30. And it's time to get going. Let's see who is going to get this position. Who is going to come out on top? Who's going to be P2 and P3? Who's going to do that podium? We're going to have to see. I think the main thing here is, can XR8 hold on to it? Power had a good lap in the end, but it was pretty close still. And I can hear the beeping. And we're about to get going for the race. 15 drivers. 36 laps, I believe it is. Here we go. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in Austria. 4 FRLT 4s in Season 4, and it's not been a good start from Power. He's already been jumped by Runnard. Down the inside goes King Stappen. He's trying to get that start early. It's not been a good start from Power at all because King Stappen's already jumped him into P2. Runnard now leads away, and this is exactly the start he needed to find. And this is, here he goes, up into the lead. You can see a little bit of side-by-side happening further back. Look at that, dive bomb down the inside, and that is 3 wide further back. You can see Asel Souza going up a couple of places. You can see somebody's dropping back. It's Mika that's dropping back. He's down to last already. Hazer also not having a good start with Flame dropping down as well. Hazer, all those three battling further back. But it is Runnard who leads away in the Alpine. And it's exactly what he needed off of the start. Because look, further back to King Stappen, who's chasing him down. Tartar Sauce gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Gained 1 position. So we'll have to see whether they'll want to get that removed or not as they make their way round towards the end of lap 1. Let's see what is going to happen here. Who is going to come out on top? Who's still got it? But it is XR8 who lead away for another lap here in 4s. They haven't had as much as the same luck in Tier 1 lately. They haven't had anywhere close to as much running at the front. But this week they do. Let's see. And you can see Power trying to get past the man of King Stappen again, but a bit of a poor corner from Runnard. That's left him a little bit open to the cars behind. You can see Power has gotten past King Stappen in the end, but look at this. It's almost going to become... Whoa, look at this. Almost 3 wide. And in the end, has King Stappen gotten it again? Yes, he has. He's successfully held on to P2 and defended from not 1, but 2 XR8 drivers, which... You've got to give him that. You've got to give him that. Defending from 2 drivers is even harder defending from 1. So, very strong defense from King Stappen in this moment and in this race. Ooh, a little bit of sliding there, but you can see Runnard not looking as smooth himself. It looks like very much looks like everybody's struggling for grip. But here comes King Stappen. It's going all the way down the grid for who's setting the fastest lap. It's Tartarsaurus who's set the fastest lap of the race. Now Flame. And now on to the second straight. So we now head round towards the hairpin. Moving out to the left-hand side is King Stappen battling with Runnard into the braking zone around the outside. It's ABE versus XR8 as much as it has been throughout this entire season. And look at this, Runnard's still there. And a slight moment for the lead for ABE, but it's immediately taken away by Runnard. And look at that. Atul Souza up to P3 as well. He is on the mediums, but that is exactly what ABE need in this race. They need that double podium, and they need those big points. As Mono, by the way. Whoa! Mono's off into the gravel, and that is not a good moment. That's a terrible moment for XPG. Points are looking more and more impossible, or at least the bigger points are looking more and more impossible for XPG today, and that is a step in the wrong direction for them, very much the same as their qualifying. Runnard now still leading away onto lap 4, 3 laps led by XR8. Let's see whether it will change now this lap. Can ABE solidify the move and get up into the lead of this race? See Power further behind. Power already looking to try and make the move, but it is, again, it's King Stappen down the inside. Has he gotten the move? No, he hasn't. He's had a bit of a moment on the inside of the corner. It's not worked out. And in the end, I don't think either of the front 2 got DRS either. But look at this. Power trying to go down the inside. It's not going to work. He backs out in the end. Thinks better of it. I think that was a smart move. Karakimo dropping down the order. You can see some drivers are struggling. I think Mika's currently the one holding back quite a big chunk of the pack. And that's Oscar, by the way, who's dropped through the order. He's down to P14 now in this race. So XR8 go from 3 drivers down to 2 in the points. And it looks like, again, same as Abu Dhabi, it's looking like it's Oscar who is dropping the form for XR8 and dropping some valuable points for them. Now, it is 2v2 in this race. And it's very much changed for the drivers and for the teams. But remember, Satcher's also up there in P5. So officially, ABE will be outscoring XR8 at the moment, and that is not what they want, but a true battle for the championship is on. King Stappen again into turn 3. He gives a little bit of a nudge to Runnard to make sure he can't make the move back. Now, off of the grip, does he get it? No, he doesn't, not fully. Somebody's round, that's Tartarsaurus who's round. He's down to last, and look at this. Again, Runnard, King Stappen trying to hold it. He's going to go for the exit. Look at this. Look at the drive that King Stappen's got. Oh! What a cutback. What a switchback from King Stappen. And that is the move to put ABE in the lead. And when they cross the line to lead their first lap, oh, a mistake from Runnard as well at the same time. Is his teammate Power going to go past? His teammate is battling it with his own teammate for a second there. But ultimately, Runnard lets him pass. And that is a little bit easier said than done. But you can see, oh, a lot is going on there. And what this has now caused is it's allowed King Stappen to run off with the lead. Now Power's chasing that win again. He has got DRS, so I think we're going to possibly see a move into the hairpin. Look at that. King Stappen's probably letting off a bit to try and make him pass him. But he's not. Oh, and not the best of corners from the man of power. Runnard gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help his day either. That's very poor for Runnard, because now he's going to drop down the order and down to about P8 in this race. And it's just getting worse and worse for himself. As Flame, by the way, what a move and what a drive Flame is having from P14 to P6. This man is up 8 places already in this race. And what a start he is having. Nonetheless, up 8 places more than anybody. Oscar's down 8. Mono's down 6. Same as Tartarsaur. So, the moment, pretty close. Tyres-wise, only 2 drivers on mediums. Astor Souza and Mr. Poem are on the mediums. Everybody else on the hard tyres for the moment. But we can see King Stappen leads away again. Another lap led by ABE here tonight. They're trying to get their laps led counter a little bit more up this season. Of course, not in Tier 1. It's the first season they haven't qualified for Tier 1. Of course, we know in Season 3, they qualified first for Tier 1 in the qualifiers. Sorry, not Season 4, sorry. I don't even know what season anymore. Yeah, Season 3 it would have been, yeah. Nah, I'm just stupid. That's all it is. I just can't remember anything. But yeah, qualified first for that, and they showed it throughout until after about the first 5 races. They very much lost their pace in the second half of the season. But here in fours, the moment, AB's dreadful 5th round that usually starts their downfall in a season, this time round is not happening. They're actually having one of their better races today. And look at this further back runner. It's trying to make a move down the inside of Astor Souza. He's not going to get the move. And ultimately, it's going to be Flame who actually captures the position while he's at it. And he's actually going to go and try to get a second place as well on the same straight. Flame is on fire at the moment for XPG. And currently onto the podium if he can get past the ABE driver. So I think he will. As he's up to P3 and XPG are all over this race and are absolutely performing like crazy. But look at this Astor Souza. Whoa, and it's a big loss of grip for the man of power. He also drops down to P3 now, behind Flame. Flame from P14 up to P2, 12 places gained after just 7 whole laps. On lap 8, he's gained 12 places. He's really giving these guys a run for their money. And this is not good for XR8 at all. And you can see Flame is maybe slowing down a little bit more. He's not able to keep up as much, but he's just giving XR8 some problems and a bit of a headache here, because at the moment they're going to be dropping the Constructors' Championship lead once again here in Austria. AB will currently lead the Constructors out of round 6 out of round 5, sorry, at the moment. But look at Deck. He's made a bit of a mistake. That's allowed Satcher to get back past and up to P6 once again. And with a penalty for Runnard, it's going to be down to about P8 in this race. As now Flame from P14, he's trying to make a move. If we can get a good angle on this. Look at this. He's trying to go for the lead of this race. Holy. He's gone from everything to lose to now looking like an incredible race. This is one of the best races I think we've seen in fours from just a single driver. Still up those 12 places. Can he get that 13th place gained? Can he make it the 13th? And can he make it the race lead? Astor Souza also gets a 3-second time penalty. That's now the race fully on between Runnard and Astor Souza for position. Means they're both going to drop points in the end. But let's see who's going to come out on top here. 3 different teams in the top 3. Going to be seeing another very interesting podium. Who's going to come out with a victory here today? Flame very much pushing for that win for XPG. Down the inside, Flame goes. He's going to stay a bit further behind so he can get DRS. Flame doesn't get the exit though again. Very much expected. Doesn't get the exit. Power battling with his teammate Runnard a bit over position. Maybe not all sweet and nice, but whoa, Power trying to get down the inside, but it's very much just locked out between the front two of Flame and King Stappen. here on lap 10, nobody can get past these front two. And I think they're partly working together to stop the rest from getting through. That's... Whoa! And there's a big moment there for King Stappen. Massive slide. That's going to drop ABE down. But look at this. It is all going on here. Holy, it's all going on. Two slow cars. Tarsos and Karakimo. Both going slowly on track. But holy, that was a big moment for King Stappen. He's now going to be looking to gain these positions back to get this race lead back into his hands. He doesn't want to drop points to XR8 at the moment. He really doesn't. But it's been a very interesting race. You can see again, runner down the inside trying to get the move, but he just doesn't, you just don't get enough grip off of the exit. And you can see there, Satcher gets past his teammate. They're all pushing for position now. That's Oscar who's had another moment. But look at Power down the inside. He's going to push into Flame. Flame having a massive moment. It's allowed. King Stappen back up into the lead. And it's Power and Runnard in P2 and P3. But a bit of ghosting is allowing Flame to try and hang on for position for P2 at the moment. Look at this. This is incredibly interesting what's going on here. And I think Flame has played it almost perfectly at the moment. Because I'm pretty sure he's just pulled up into P2 again. And he's held on to position purely because of ghosting. That's incredibly smart. That's going to hurt XR8 quite a lot. And down the inside again. Look at Power. He's trying to make the position. It's not working for him. I think Satcher is also all over the back of this. He's trying to make up some places here. It is all chaos at the moment. Down the outside is where we're going to see Satcher try and go. He's going to try and get Power off of the exit. He is getting Power off of the exit. He's trying at least. He's unable to for now. Deck also is trying to get past Assel Souza. Into turn 4 though. A battle for the lead once again. King Stappen and Flame still going at it. 3-4 laps of this battling now have gone on. But I have to say, they've been quite clean so far. Only one moment through all of this battling. But it's still ABE and it's still King Stappen who leads the way in this race. We know King Stappen's probably going to go till about lap 20 on these hard tyres at least. So there's still a long way before we see any pit stops from the hard runners. It's only the medium runners, really, of Assel Souza and Mr. Poem who are going to have to come in possibly before that. Around lap 15 to lap 18 is probably when they're going to have to come in and go for their tyres for about 20 laps. So we'll have to see. But here comes Flame charging for the lead. But here comes Runnard as well. As now Runnard retakes the lead of the race. He gets a double overtake. What a move from the man of Runnard. He gets both of them in one go. And I can't even believe what I'm seeing. It was just that quick. You see down the inside, Flame getting a terrible corner. But it's enough to actually stick alongside with Runnard. Last race, we spoke about Qatar and stuff with sort of XR8 kind of running away with the win a bit, and last race as well. But we've got to talk about this race. We've got to talk. I think this is the first time in maybe one or two races we've seen XR8 generally having to battle over championship points. I think they've thrown in some of their strongest drivers to gain those points, and I think possibly they were feeling like coming into Austria, they'd have a better chance, but obviously it's gone against them. Oscar's outside of the top. He's outside of the sort of top 10 at the moment. He won't score points here today. And look at this, 3 wide into their hairpin, by the way, they're going. For a second, it looked like they were going 3 wide. Flame trying to make the move. King Stappen battling with Power over position. Runnard still leads the way. Everybody else following Runnard. Here comes Flame. Down the inside he goes. And it's going to be another change for the lead. Is it the exit that Flame wanted? Yes, it is. It's enough of an exit to pull himself into the lead of the race. An XPG lead once again here tonight. Aston Martin Green. Flame proving that he's very much leading the team. And he's very much pushing the team up the standings. I think we can all agree that last race was not the best. And here we go, Runnard trying to go side by side into the penultimate corner. We can see 8 drivers are still all within this battle. 8 drivers still all in this. after 15 laps, after 14 whole laps, we've seen, 8 drivers still all stuck together. As I think we see Mr. Poem now go into the pits. But I think we can all agree, I don't think the championship is going to be as straightforward as I think XR8 think it's going to be for them. And of course, if they don't win the championship, they'll argue, they missed a race. And I think if they do win the championship, then they'll boast that they missed the race and still won. But I think definitely ABE and XPG are giving I think XPG and ABE are giving XR8 a bit of a headache, especially in this race when the championship lead is very much up for grabs. And at the moment, it would be going towards ABE quite heavily. It'd be going towards them in this race. It'd be a massive amount of points for ABE at the moment to pull into the lead of the constructors once again. ABE have led 3, have come out of the championship leading 3 out of the 4 races so far. XR8 have only led 1. Side by side into turn 1, by the way. Runnard really trying to get that move. He really wants to try and get it early, but look at Flame. Flame's giving him a bit of a problem. Quite a bit of straight line speed from Flame. Here comes Satcher down the inside. He's going to try and make a move. Same as, I think that's Powell, who's also trying to make a move at the same time. Unable to, but Flame now chasing after the race lead once again. But it's very much juggling between sort of ABE, XPG, and XR8. I feel bad if I'm gonna say this, but I don't think XPG are in the championship contending sort of position at the moment. I think we can kind of reasonably all agree. I do apologise. I've just seen something. I just have to quickly click on it and stuff. I think we can all reasonably agree that they're not there in the standings wise. They're not there. I do apologise. I'm having to pull something up. Yeah, I think we can all agree that they're not exactly there in the standings. XPG 22 points in their 2 races, which to be fair isn't bad, but they're 80 points away from the Constructors' Championship leaders, and they're not too close to they're 74 points away from ABE. So realistically, I think championship contending wise, they'd have to solidly get top 4s, or at least take P1, P2 sort of every single race to at least gain some points, and that would be maybe 5 points per race. They might gain 5-6 points per race, but realistically, they're very much out of contention. But I think for XPG at the moment, the main thing for them is Flame now goes for the lead of the race, and he does get that move quite early. Kawakimo now retires, 1 XPG out, but I think their main thing is to try to get 3rd in the Constructors, because UFRT, 73 points, much more, it's a lot easier for them to catch. They're only 51 points behind UFRT, and to be honest, in round 3, they did catch quite a lot. But this race, if they can do it again, if they can get these points they're looking at the moment, and if they can get this win, Satcher gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But basically, if XPG can get this win here and take the 18 points that they've been looking for, that's really going to help them. Especially because at the moment, it looks like it's going to sort of be about 11 points and then maybe another 5 points. So at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be about, it is sadly still going to be more points for the team of UFRT. So XPG still not closing in, even if they were to win here tonight. By the way, we are now halfway through the race, about to go on to lap 19 to get to the second half of the race now. Yeah, I think XPG are very much fighting. They're fighting incredibly hard, but at the moment they're not getting the results. I mean, Tartarsaur's P14, Kawakimo P15. When you think about it, at the moment only one of their drivers will currently score. 2 of their drivers, Flame and Mono. And look at this, 3 wide into the hairpin. Flame goes off track. Everybody's going everywhere. And King Stappen back up into the lead. But look at how close this is. Everybody's chasing everyone, but nobody is willing to go more than 2 wide into turn 4, which I think is a very reasonable and smart idea. And it is going to be King Stappen at the moment who's trying to lead away in this race. He's trying to get back up into the lead for ABE. The battling is still there. Look at this. Still side by side into the next left-hander. That penalty for Satchergood is not going to help him out because it's going to drop him down to P7. If he could get ahead of Runnard, that is going to help him out though. Assel Souza as well went into the pits. But King Stappen does now lead away. And this is exactly what he needed. Another lap led now for ABE in this race. But it's very mixed. I don't think anybody's... I think XR8 have led for maybe slightly longer. But look at this. A bit of a tap between Flame and King Stappen over position. Heading down onto the straight. 4 wide as we head through. Look at this. Who is actually going to come out in the lead? I have no clue. It's Runnard who's come out leading now. And that is a perfect move for the team, of course, of XR8. But he has a penalty which is currently going to drop him down to P6 in this race. But included with his teammates' with Satcher's penalty, it's going to drop him down to P5. So still 10 points going his way. And would be another 15 points going his teammates' way. So still 25 points at the end of the day compared to ABE, the moment who would currently take P6. So just 7 points. And King Stappen as well, gaining some places. But 3 cars are in. That's Satchergood, King Stappen, and Power. Power gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's a massive mistake from himself. Mika, who stopped earlier for the hard tyres, he's now come out in front of all of them. So this has actually worked out perfectly for Mika in the end. It's a perfect one. Looking at the tyres, he hasn't stopped, sorry. He hasn't stopped. My bad. I believe I was thinking of Assel Souza that I was thinking of. Yes, it is. Both of the hard runners now changing, but you can see XPG Flame now leads away once again. XPG trying to get those extra laps down, trying to get that victory. Of course, Runnard can't win as he gets his penalty removed, but we'll have to see. Have to see indeed. Tartarsaurus, 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Are we going to be seeing a retirement from Tartarsaurus here today? Quite possibly second. It could be a second XPG retirement, which won't be good for their season. Currently be their worst finish, by the way, of the season for the moment. Everybody else has now gone in. Just the front 2 still out there. And Assel Souza, by the way, has actually gotten a really good undercut. He has got a penalty, but he's gotten a really good undercut on those hard tyres because he's now pulled off way off into the distance. We know he's probably not going to be able to hold on to that position for long. But where's everybody else come out? Rusted Bolt has had a really good stop, actually. It's really worked out for him because he's only just behind Satcher. He's only behind Satcher. King Stappen hasn't come out too well. Definitely hasn't come out too well from it. Hazer has. Quite mixed there. Where's Oscar? Oscar's down in P10 at the moment. And he's probably going to stay about P10 because he's got Mika, who's behind him, who's also come out, who wants that position, is on fresher tyres. Flame is now coming in, but Runnard stays out. Runnard's staying out. Where is Flame going to come out now? Now, we know he's going to come out behind Assel Souza, but look at where Power is on track. Is Power going to come out, of course, in front? Are we going to see him? Are we going to see quite a few drivers come out in front, or just a few? Who's going to come out where? Flame's now rolling down the pit lane. Satchigo just put in the fast lap. He is going to drop down the order quite severely. He's behind King Stappen as well. Is he going to drop behind the UFRTs in P8 and P9? No, he's not. But he is going to be susceptible to an attack by them because he's on those cold tyres. Tartarsaurus gets another 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He now retires. That's a second retirement, as I thought it would be. But look at this. This could be a problem for Flame. He's come out 2 seconds behind King Stappen and he won't have DRS either. That's going to be a bit of a problem for these guys. down a bit lower, sort of in the points. Well, it's going to be difficult for Flame to catch up now without having DRS. And he is having a bit of a struggle so far on his lap. He is struggling to get heat. He keeps slipping on the curbs, which isn't helping him too much. But Runnard is still out there, still setting laps. But look at the gap, 9.9 seconds. Souza also is on hard tyres, but he's on fresher hards. Oscar gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which pretty much rules out Oscar from scoring points here today. But you look at Souza. He's actually not doing too bad. Down to P4, yeah. Power not having a great one. King Stappen, by the way, trying to get past Rusted Bolt now for position. He's really fighting to try and get past Rusted Bolt because it's an important move he needs to make now. Down the inside, he's committed to it. King Stappen makes up to P5 now. And all of the 4 drivers in front of him have penalties, which means at the moment, King Stappen will at least get up to P3 in this race. If he can catch up to his teammate as well. And now we see Runnard comes in, but he's lost a lot of time. He's lost about another second this lap, by the way, to Souza, which is not where you want to be at all. So already the lead is now lost for Runnard. He's got that penalty as well. He's going to drop way down the order. Look at that. Flame has just set the fastest lap of the race. Where's Runnard dropping down to? He's dropped down to P9 in this race. And plus with his penalty and with Mika catching behind him, he's come out on all of that just to come out on slightly fresher mediums. And now Mika's actually catching up to him. And he could now drop down to P10. This has been an absolute blunder from XR8 here in the strategy. Massive blunder in the strategy. Only 11 laps to go of this race. Oh, and that's Mika. Why did I have to say something about him and say he was doing well? Because, of course, he was just going to make a mistake the minute I said that. Commentator's curse. Holy. But look at this. Look at Souza. He's actually putting in some decent laps here. He is slower than Power, but not massively. So I'd say at the moment, he's actually putting in some really good laps. Hazer gets a 3-second time penalty. Not going to help himself. But what's interesting here is that the guys behind aren't massively catching him. Only about a 10th in the final sector. So it's quite interesting to see. Flame gets past Rusted Bolt as well into turn 1. Well, at least he's trying to. And that is the move made and the position gained for himself. That's Flame up to P5 here today. Strong one to see from Flame. He's putting on a really good race and at the moment would be charging for big points. But look at this. Craziness off of the hairpin. Satcher trying to battle for position. King Stappen up to P3 as well. Look at this. Flame giving a bit of a problem to Power because Flame has now gotten past him and there is a no XR8 inside of the top 4. And Power's going to go down to about P7 in this race with penalties. He's going to drop down to about P7. It's only 5 points. Then another 3 for Runnard. Holy. And then 1 for Oscar. This race is just devastating for these guys. And look at that. It looks like Power's lost P5 anyway. So down to P6 now for Power. This race is just hell for these guys at the moment. It's hell for XR8. This is their worst race. Hazer now retires in the pits. That is his race done. That moves Oscar up a position. And an extra point scored for Oscar. But in the end, it's still an extra point. And Flame now up to P3. Pushing for position. Really pushing for position now. He wants to take the win. But I have to say, AB looking pretty good in their performance. They will finish entirely, except for Mika. 3 of their 4 drivers will finish in front of the whole of XR8. It's an interesting one. Look at this. Mono battling with Oscar over position. 12 drivers left. It's really been a bit of a struggle. Some drivers kind of stuck behind. You can see Runnard is kind of sitting on the back here. He can see the car. He can't see the cars in front right now. But he can kind of, when he goes around the straights, King Stappen gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Holy. This now means Rusted, only 3 drivers out of the 12 don't have penalties. Mono gets a 3-second time penalty as well, which means Mika will go up into the points. But this means Flame will finish first and Rusted Bolt will finish up a position. But look at this. The battle over who's got penalties. Rusted Bolt now gets a 3-second time penalty. Only 2 drivers without penalties in this race. My God, this is all going crazy. Flame down the inside of King Stappen. XPG pushing to be the 3rd team to win this season. They will become at the moment the 3rd team to win in 5 races. My mind is just blown. Well, 4th team, sorry, in 5 races, because TTRE also won. I forgot back in Abu Dhabi, they also won. Really good race in Abu Dhabi, actually, for themselves. But XPG pushing with everything. Flame from 14th. He's pushing for first. And now Mika gets a 3-second time penalty. 1 driver stands without a penalty, and that is Flame. The only driver standing without a penalty. Satcher gets another 3-second time penalty. That's going to put him behind Power now. And possibly even behind Runnard as well at the same time. So it's not looking too good for himself. And that's Mr. Poem. Oh, that's Assel Souza! That's off into the wall. Oh. ABE. Oh, why so late in this race do you have to make a mistake? Why so late? But at least at the moment, we will be seeing at least 1 ABE driver on the podium. We're still going to, I think, see 3 teams on the podium at the moment. But let's just have a look at the penalties. So I don't know what they are. 10 seconds for Power, by the way. So no, so Power's actually going to drop down to about P7 in the end, behind his teammates. So it'll be P6 and P7 for XR8. And P8, so P6, P7, and P8. It's going to be P10 and P2 for ABE. P2 and I think it will be P6. I think P6 or something. I don't know. I have no clue. We'll figure out by the end of the race. Flame battling with King Stappen over the win. Oof. Wow. Cold. Oh, poor Ryan. King Stappen making his way round to lead another lap for ABE. I think this is probably going to be about their 14th or 15th lap in the lead. I think ABE have reasonably, let's be honest, led at least half this race now. I mean, XR8 led the first, 5-6 laps of the race. They led the first 5-6 laps. And now down to only 5 laps after this. Holy, this race has gone by really quickly. Deck, by the way, up to P4. He'll also get in front of Satcher, which means a podium for UFRT once again this race. Exactly what they need in the battle against XPG. Flame maybe struggling a little bit on his medium tyres now. He's struggling to keep up a bit. He's lost the lead. He's under a bit of attack from Satcher as well. Down the inside, Flame going defensive. Everything up for grabs. Let's see. Now, I'm going to set a challenge for you guys. By lap 36, by the end of this race, I want us to reach 190 subscribers. Please. I swear I will do some dumbass thing on the next stream or do something special for you guys if we can reach 190 subscribers by the end of the stream. If we do, I don't know what I'll do. But I will do something stupid for the next stream. So let's see whether we can do it. One step closer. Hopefully, by the end of this season, we can reach 200 subscribers. Please try to make that happen, please. It'll be amazing. The amount of support you guys show is absolutely incredible. Anyway, so either way, you guys show so much incredible support for the channel, and I thank you guys so much for it. This season has been incredible as well from you guys. The absolute support. Pishi, no. Just no. Okay, Pishi. Have a nice day. Banned. No, I'm kidding. Not banning you, Pishi. Yeah, you guys have actually been incredible this season. I will be honest, you guys, your support it means so much to me. But look at this. A lot of moves happening now. Deck trying to go for P2. Power gets another 3-second time penalty. That's going to drop him even further down the order. He's having a terrible day at the moment. Overall, XR8 not in the best of luck at the moment. They're not in the best area. They don't have the best amount of luck. We'll have to see. But Deck running through. It is. I swear it's Pishi. Or is it Pesci? Is it Pesci? I don't know. You'll need to explain this. Unless you've already explained it to me, and I'm just stupid and I don't remember. I have too many names to remember. Leave me alone. But 3 laps of the race to go. And it is Kingstappen Pesci, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's Pesci. Unless I'm just thinking of a dumbass name. Peishi. Is it Peishi? There's no way. Peishi. Get in there. I've actually gotten it. I needed help from somebody, but I got it. But look at this. Kingstappen's had a massive moment. Kingstappen's absolutely had a massive moment. Down to P4 now. Not good for him. We know Power's going to drop down, and we know Runnard's going to stick around, but we'll have to see where everybody's going to finish in the end. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream, because we've got 3 laps left. Make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Would be massively appreciated. But here we go. We have now just 2 more laps to go of this race. Flame went really wide there. I was really worried he was going to pick up another warning and possibly a penalty at the end of the day. And Mr. Poem now also retires. Oh my god, the level of disappointment for these guys is mega. Yeah, I know it's Peishi. Everybody's now... Pishi. I give up. I give up with the names. You know what? I give up. But Flames had a bit of a moment. Satcher is trying to get it now, and so is Kingstappen. He's also trying to gain some places. I give up with the names. I'm not saying your names anymore. You know what? I'm not going to say any of these drivers' names just to cause havoc. Just to cause havoc with you guys, just to annoy you. Because I feel like it. But now we are about to go on to lap 36 of 36, the final lap of the race. Now, into the hairpin. Look at this. Moves all down the inside. Runnard's trying to gain the place. Of course, more places means more positions. Runnard pushing for the line. Flame still without a penalty. I think everybody knows Flame is set to win this. But look at this. Runnard's trying to get it, but Satcher does not want to let it go. Neither does Kingstappen. They're all charging for position. They all want it right now. They all want these places in the race. Kingstappen trying to go round the outside of Runnard. It's an important position Kingstappen needs. His teammate really helping him out here. Whoa, what a massive slide from himself. That could end the day for him. But it is going to be Flame who's going to lead round to the final corner from P14 to P15. Across the line. Flame wins! He wins. Power gets another 10-second time penalty. It's King Stappen and Runnard on the podium. Falling behind, Deck just misses out. Russell Bolt 5th. Satcherhood in 6th. Ultimately, in the end, I don't believe... XR8 Pesci, yeah. I thought it was Pesci. Pesci, yeah. No. I know how to say it. I'm just giving up because everybody's telling me different things. But well done. Well done. What an end to tonight's race. What an end. Absolutely crazy. Flame, 14th. Pretty much almost last to first. What a day for XPG. 4th team to win in 5 races. What a race. But like I said, if we've gotten to 190 subscribers, I would have done a challenge for the next race. I would have done something stupid, but you know, I would have done something funny for you guys, but no, you didn't get there. It's too late. But no, thank you guys for the support anyway. Absolutely incredible. I'll probably do something stupid like say a name like Pishi or say something wrong. Flame, 14th to 1st. What a day for himself and a win for XPG, their first of the season. Runnard follows close behind with King Stappen finishing in 3rd. Deck finishes 4th with Russell Bolt with an incredible finish from 11th to 5th. Satcher also improves from 8th to 6th, followed by Power from pole to 7th. A bad day for him and a bad day for his teammate Oscar as well, 4th to 8th. Miko is 9th, with Assel Souza picking up the final points position with Mono in 11th. Mr. Poem retiring, followed by Hazer, Tarsource and Karakimo all retiring from the race. What an end to tonight's race. Absolutely incredible. And, you know, I don't think any of us can really complain from what we saw in today's race. Absolutely incredible. The standings will be updated. And I'll probably post them on Twitter, so make sure to go and follow us on our Twitter. The link is down below. Very important to follow us on our Twitter because, because I said so. No, I'm kidding. It's purely because it's because you guys then get to find out what the standings are a little bit earlier than seeing them next week. But ultimately, guys, I hope you have enjoyed it. Please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, click on that notification bell to know about all the content we're going to be doing, from videos, shorts, to even these streams. Thank you so much. Also, thank you guys so much for all of the support this season. It's been incredible. Let's keep going. Let's try to get to 200 subscribers by the end of Season 4. Let's try and get there. We're already very close to it. Let's just try and push it a bit more, and let's try and get there very, very soon. Ultimately, also a big thanks. Ultimately, big thanks to our affiliates, SimRacing Centre, for affiliating with us. Thank you so much. Make sure to go check them out. Their Discord server link is down below. They can give you setups, even coaching, which is incredible. Setups across different games, race strategies, everything and anything you could really want. So make sure to go check them out. Make sure to go and join them. And yeah, use I think it's code FRLT F1, I believe, or FRLT. I think it's one of those. Make sure to put all caps. I think it is. So I think you should get some money off from it. But ultimately, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.